Hello, welcome to another movie review here on my channel. Today we're going to look at Tusk. Tusk is basically a horror comedy. So yeah, the type of genre I actually like when it comes to horror. Otherwise, I don't usually like horror movies. But I thought, why not try this one out? Because, hey, horror comedy. Yes, indeed. But they are labeled it wrong, at least here. It just stands as a horror. So if you buy it because of it only being a horror, you will be a little bit disappointed. So let's start with the storyline. Tusk is basically about the character named Wallace. I actually know his name for once. That is basically a podcaster, basically, and he's telling a lot of stories, basically, making fun of them sometimes, and so on and so on. He's basically an entertainer on the internet, and he is working with his friend, which I can't remember his name, but he's a friend he works with. He also has a girlfriend that is, well, a beautiful girlfriend, because, well, why not? One day he's basically, well, traveling to Canada, and he's going to make a, well, story about a guy that basically accidentally cut off his legs. I think it was both legs. Yeah, but when he comes there, this guy has basically killed himself, and because of that he's getting angry, and because he doesn't have a story to tell. But he finds a paper on a clipboard or something like that, and decides, well, this actually sounds interesting. I want to talk with this person. This person is basically Mr. Howe, which is a really interesting character. I really like him. He's well acted and well performed. It is really interesting character. So far, this movie is more of a horror cliche kind of movie. It haven't gone to the comedy style yet, or horror comedy yet, because it's more trying to build up the storyline. It is more of a... So far the build up is kind of good in my opinion, but our main character is kind of a dick. He's not a good person, if you can say that, basically call him like that. Mr. Howe basically drugs Wallace. Wallace basically wakes up, and Mr. Howe amputated one of his legs. He freaks out a little bit, but of course, he wants to see a doctor. But Mr. Howe says he can't call a doctor, and that he can't call another person because them being in the forest. So they go on, and weird things are actually happening to Wallace all the time. He's getting more and more drugged. He can't move his legs or any of his limbs basically. And later on he actually finds out that Mr. Howe is basically trying to turn him into a walrus. And now the comedy thing is actually starting to happen. But during this time also we are seeing some interview kind of stylish thing where his girlfriend basically confessing about why she's, well, talking about why she's still staying with Wallace, and we will see that she's actually cheating on him. This kind of interview kind of things that they cut to sometimes is kind of weird in my opinion. They don't give that much to the story. It could have been more, well, it gives more story or more build up for the character to actually more like him or something like that, but it doesn't give you that much otherwise. In my opinion, it just seems weird when they just cut to a camera turn to his girlfriend's face, and she basically talks to it. It's kind of weird. But yeah, we will see Mr. Howe turning Wallace into a walrus. He's, well, he has amputated both legs, and is basically putting Wallace in a meat suit, basically a suit that looks like a walrus. He gets, I can't remember, Tusk's movie. It's called Tusk, and the walrus costume is really weird looking. It is not really good in my opinion. It just looks weird. It could have been better made, but of course it wasn't that high budgeted. And for what it is good for what it is, basically. And during this time, his girlfriend and his friend, which those two are basically cheating on Wallace, and yeah, backstory. They basically find out about this because Wallace did actually manage to call them before he became a walrus, and they are now searching for him. And they call a detective that is basically Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp in a costume again. He's the detective. He's a little bit of a comedian or comedic kind of style detective, and he's alright. He isn't the best, but he's alright in my opinion, even though his dialect could have been a little bit better in my opinion. We will find out that this detective have been following this Mr. Howe for centuries or a long time, because Mr. Howe done this many times before. I kinda like that, yeah. After a while we see Mr. Howe basically telling us why he does this. It is because he actually killed his walrus friend and is now basically trying to give him a fighting chance again, because he sees his walrus friend in this, Wallace that is in the character, and they fight in walrus costumes because Mr. Howe is now in another walrus costume, and they fight, and Wallace basically kills Mr. Howe. Then we see his girlfriend and his friend basically finding him. They see him as a monster. He screams, and then his face to black. How they find him is basically they backtrack many styles and everything. They basically look at what he have drank, what he have shot somewhere, and so on, so on. It's kind of fast forwarding in that aspect, in my opinion. And the movie is basically ended that with Wallace being in a zoo kind of thing. I can't remember what it's called, reservat in Swedish. But his girlfriend basically says he loves him, and because animals can't cry, he actually starts crying, which shows that he still has some humanity in him, and that is how the movie ends. Throughout this movie I actually felt kind of weirded out by a lot of things. The first thing being the basic storyline with him turning into a walrus. It's a decent storyline, but it was kind of weird. It was just straight out weird in my opinion. The acting throughout this movie is great actually. They do a great job, everyone actually. I can't complain there. When it comes to environments, they are kind of good, but sometimes it feels generic in some parts, of course. And then when it comes to direction of actually what is directing and everything, it seems kind of weird sometimes when they basically go to the interview thing and everything, so yeah. When it comes to the horror thing, it isn't that scary. It is just more of a comedic kind of style movie in my opinion. It doesn't feel like a horror movie. But overall, what will this movie have for rating? I will give it a 6.8 out of 10. This movie is great in many aspects when it comes to actually having great acting, great environments, and somewhat of a decent story. But it's fell short when it comes to actually telling the story it wants, because it wants to be a horror comedy, but it's more of a comedic style movie, and because of that it feels kind of flat in that respect. In that aspect, some of the characters seems a little bit over the top sometimes, especially John Depp's character, but he's decent as well, because I feel all the acting is kind of decent in this movie. And yeah, overall a decent movie. I recommend it, but it doesn't get a high score on this review score. And that's all for today, folks. Hope to see you next time.